Your dwelling is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, declares the Lord. That's Jeremiah 9:6. We're swimming in a sea of deception in this world. The purest form of deception is ripping apart the truth and weaving it into the lie. That's a cliche that I've repeated many times. I heard it in a show years ago. But they reveal the ways of the world, the schemes of the world. There are conspiracies going on, but people hide their true intentions. And one of the things I often get pushback from, if all of these conspiracies were really going, why wouldn't someone say something? Well, again, the truth hides in plain sight. Just about every storyline has been repeated throughout the decades since television has been mesmerizing us, conditioning us to believe things, to accept ways that are not God's ways. And one of the biggest truths that is always revealed through cinema is how evil hides itself. People that do stand up are eliminated. They're discredited. They're taken out. Now, I've just gone through a couple headlines today, and I'm seeing more and more people today dying mysterious deaths. Those who control the media control the flow of information. So what you're seeing is what they want you to see. And oftentimes, they want you to feel like you're seeing something that they don't want you to see. There's a lot of red herrings out there. You know, recent headlines, John Barnett. He was a Boeing whistleblower, and he was exposing things. He told close family friends, he said he wasn't scared, but if he ends up dead, just know that he definitely did not commit suicide. And sure enough, they just found him dead, and they said it was suicide. Billionaire CEO Angela Chow just died. She has a relation, she's in, like Mitch McConnell is related to her. And she just backed her Tesla into a pond on a private ranch in Texas. They said it's like some malfunction of Tesla. And she was locked in there and she drowned. Very mysterious. There's like a homicide investigation going on now because some things don't add up. But when you realize that there has been a level of controlled infiltration in law enforcement, within the courts, within the entire political spectrum that protects entities that are in play to eliminate threats to truth. Kanye West was revealing a lot of truth. He had his Jesus is King. He was praising the Lord. He revealed some pretty scary truths. He talked about his mom was sacrificed. He brought up other people like Jordan. There is always a lot of mysterious deaths around a lot of celebrities. Have you ever noticed that? There's a reason for that. We're not going to get into it, but Kanye West, he even talked about how he can't be controlled. But Charles Barkley can, LeBron James can, Shaquille O'Neal can. A lot of the people that we love that came up as athletes or entertainers and that we idolize as a society, they're the ones that are brought in and shown behind the curtain because they can continue to influence us in ways that wouldn't be possible from just somebody that we aren't familiar with, that we haven't grown an affinity for. But when somebody has a coming of conscience, they become a threat. And I believe Kanye, he's made some comments lately. He's basically said he has issues with Jesus. He said, I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. So I had to put my experience in this world, my experience with my children, my experience with other people, my experience with my account, my experience with my brand, and my experience with the level of music that I was dealing with in my own hands. That's what he told a radio host. He said, the main thing that I really don't rock with is it's just always like, I'm going to pray for you. And it's just like you can actually physically do something yourself too, more than just pray. See, you don't put things in your hand, but there's a misnomer here. The bottom line truth is that you can't put your trust in man. A lot of people wanted to put Kanye on a pedestal because he was praising Jesus. A lot of other people were skeptical. There's a happy medium because the truth is mixed in with the lies. Now, what he's saying here is dangerous because he didn't see Jesus show up. But Jesus told us, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. That's John 16:33. He told us things weren't going to be easy in this world if we stand up for him, so we can't expect all of our prayers when they're rooted in worldliness and success here and protection here to come true. Jesus prayed that the Lord would take this cup away from him, meaning the cross, but not my will, your will be done. When we're in total submission to him, that's when the prayers are answered. And if they're not answered here physically, he gives us that assurance of salvation and the peace that is only available inside. And Kanye missed that. But then where he's right is he says the main thing is when people say, I'm going to pray for you, but they don't actually physically do something for you that could help you more than just pray, he's right. There is truth there. James 2:15-17 says, suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you tells him, go in peace, stay warm and well fed, but does not provide for his or her physical needs, what good is that? So too, faith by itself, if it does not result in action, is dead. So Kanye is pointing that out. And this world is constantly creating a double-minded aspect to us where we want our prayers answered here, forgetting that our prayers are being answered eternally. And sometimes we've got to go through tribulations here. Some of these people that died because they were trying to expose truth, there'll be rewards in heaven. Now, I can only pray that they were all right with Jesus. But if they were standing up for truth and against the evil and wickedness that deceives us in this world, I would say their consciences were probably leading them down the right path. But we need to be aware of that. All of these things, we can't just so quickly ascribe to what the media tells us, to what the news tells us, because we're constantly being deceived. Things like MK Ultra, the brainwashing techniques that they have been perfecting for decades, since the scientists in Germany were experimenting on the Jews back during the Holocaust. Those scientists came here. You can look all of this stuff up if you want to do a deep dive and understand the level to which we're being deceived. Conspiracies exist, as much as it sucks to say that, but Jesus warned us again and again and again. We are under a spell of deception because Satan is the god of this world. Your dwelling is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit, they refuse to know me, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 9:6. Don't ever forget that. And when you pray, don't pray as the Pharisees to be seen and to be worshiped and be exalted, but pray because you know the hope of heaven is in your heart. So whatever happens here, you take that with you and you try to share that with anybody else, because we're not promised tomorrow. These people that died for trying to expose evil and shed light on truth, they didn't expect to die the way they did, or maybe some of them actually did and were prepared. But we're not promised tomorrow, so we need to be ready and carry that hope with us. Anyway, a little heavy, but we need to be aware, and we always have the hope of heaven with us. Thank you, Jesus. God bless you. See you tomorrow.